Hi there, welcome to chapter 33. So in the last chapter, Simone and Stefan found out that very likely Mr. Fischer drove away in the middle of the night, 5 a.m, when the old lady was awake. Let's see how the story continues. Stefan reagiert nicht auf Simones Blick, sondern wackelt nervös auf der Küchenbank hin und her. So, Stefan reacts not to. Yeah, auf is simply because reagieren is married with auf, and there is no logic to this. You need to learn this by heart. The topic is called verbs with prepositions, and it will be covered when it's time. Possibly, certainly not in A1, so you can relax. All you need to know is that you sometimes cannot translate these, but you also don't need to, because for understanding this is more than enough. And in A1 it's really all about understanding, 90% if not more, that you get an idea of everything. The production part, where you produce language, speaking, writing, thinking, that comes in the higher levels. Yeah? A1, A2 are really mainly targeting your understanding, and of course you will speak a little bit with our exercises, just to let you know. But the main focus is really make yourself comfortable. So Stefan is not reacting to Simone's. Remember, no apostrophe. It's the idiot's apostrophe in German. And Blick is the same as in Augenblick, which means a moment and simply means the glance of an eye. So he doesn't react to her glance, sondern is close to, it's actually the same word in English as thunder, and that's not very much used anymore, but you can see how it's related. Yeah, and asunder means split in two, and zwei, split in two, and for whatever reason that has turned into but. But this but requires a nicht from before, in the sentence before. If there is no nicht here or kein, there is no way you can use sondern. Yeah, be careful. There is also sonder or besonders. There's a couple of these asunders, but this one is only this form of it. So wackeln is very close to wiggle already. Yeah, wackel, wiggle, and the only word you need to know in German is wackel, dackel, which is a wiggling foxhound. Is it a dachshund? A wiggling dachshund. Isn't that sweet? Wackel, dackel. And one is saying, or we are saying, like old people have this in their Opel Kadett, in their old car. They have a wackeldackel where the head bobs up and down. So wiggles, well, nervously, and where is he doing it? On the kitchen bank. If there's an umlaut, you don't get a cake. Cake only without umlauts. No umlauts on the cake. So kitchen bank, which is the kitchen bench, is not a place to get money. And hin und her means, you remember from hinunter and herunter. Hin means away from the speaker, her towards the speaker. So it's basically there and back, and which means back and forth. Yeah, so he's a bit nervous, it seems. Entschuldigen Sie, dürfte ich mal Ihre Toilette benutzen? He used the aber button. So entschuldigen, end means this, get rid of, and schuld is related to should, and is your debt or your guilt. So get rid of my guilt. So would you help me get rid of my guilt, my lady? Yeah, ma'am. But dürfte ich, dürfte benutzen. So here we go. This is an infinitive, not the past form. You cannot necessarily see, but with dürfte this becomes obvious. It's related to dürfen, which is to be allowed. I didn't look it up, unfortunately. I do so before I do the next chapter, and I shared with you in chapter 34 what the origin is of that. But it means to be allowed, and the umlaut and the te give away that this is would I be allowed. And a short version is may. So what may I? Mal Ihre Toilette benutzen. Let's do this in another line. One time. So basically just a little redundant emphasis. Your. And you see it's a capital I, so he's addressing her directly. Yeah, so it's not her or their, like you guys, it's really being polite. You have 4 kinds of ears, and there's a masterclass in B1 waiting for you. Until then, just bear with it. Toilet. And, you know, if you can't use the toilet, you go nuts. So this means to use. Yeah, basically take advantage of and make use of. Benutzen. Gives us something else? No, it's the same. Dürfen. I actually write this down. Dürfen, 18. Yeah? So, excuse me, would it be possible to use your toilet? Ich habe einen Kaffee zu viel getrunken. Not much to say about this. Aber natürlich, but naturally. Sie wissen ja, it's a nice phrase. You know. And ja is just emphasis. Basically, here possibly could be already, you know already, yeah, or as you know where the toilet is. So you already know where the toilet is. Stefan verschwindet in Richtung Toilette und Simone isst noch ein Brötchen. Verschwinden, even though we had it before, it looks like swindle. If you feel swindly. In German we have schwindelig, which means dizzy. So somehow this swindle is related to turning or this movement. So verschwinden simply means become less and less, and therefore he is disappearing. I'm just checking in my notes whether I have a bit more, but I think we just talked about it, which is why I haven't put it into this lesson. Simone isst noch ein Brötchen, you don't need any help with that. Also, so Stefan is disappearing in Richtung, and remember the direction, yeah? Direction, toilet, I think that's easy, right? Es ist schön, dass Sie Herrn Müller besuchen. Yeah? It is beautiful that you, and you always have to really ask who is doing what, so who is doing the besuchen, and it's more than one person, and because the en ending gives it away, otherwise it would be besucht. So to visit, that you visit Mr. Müller. Quick reminder of the Herren, always plus n, but not if subject. So Herr Müller ist nett, Mr. Müller is nice, no n. Er ist immer so einsam. So the neighbor they are visiting, he is immer, always. So one, ein is one, and sam has different meanings, but it could mean some. Yeah, so you are the sum of one, and simply means onely, and if you turn this around, you get lonely. Yeah, so somehow if you are on your own, lonesome is actually a nice, and here you see here that's somehow related. Yeah, I think it's with an, is it with an E or not? You figure that out. I think it might be with an E, lonesome. Ich glaube, das Leben hier auf dem Land gefällt ihm nicht besonders. Ich glaube, yeah, we had glauben, I think that was the old word for it, and somehow it turned into gelieve and geliefern, and then the G turned into this. So not that you need to know this, but this might help you remember it. So I believe the life, yeah, the B turns often into an F. We here on the land, which is the countryside. Yeah, so don't be fooled, this is not really a piece of land, this is the country or the countryside. Auf dem Land, and the opposite of auf dem Land is in der Stadt, in the city. Gefällt ihm nicht besonders. Here we have the sonder again, remember that? We had sondern, asunder. So besonders, maybe it's related to asunder, but means especially. Yeah, so not especially. So life on the countryside does something to him. And the gefallen is a tricky construction. It's, I can just give it to you. It's falling, coming your way, which simply means to please. Yeah, and that means it pleases him, not especially. So it's not especially pleasing for him to live on the countryside. Yeah, so gefallen you become across a lot of times. Das gefällt mir. That pleases me, which means I like that. Yeah, I like that. So we say if you like something that pleases me. It's a nice way to do so. Simone nickt abwesend. We have the Wesen here from gewesen. So Wesen somehow has to do with being here. And if you are not there, you are abwesend, which means absent minded, yeah, or absently, whatever you want to make of it. So, and she's nicking. Remember the nicking, you nick with your neck, and that means you're not absently. So she's not really listening. And sie mag es nicht, wenn sie lügen muss. Yeah, mögen again. Mögen is mostly used in the form of möchten. Sorry, möchten, which is would like. But if the umlaut is not there, or möchte, ich möchte, I would like, ich mag, I like. So she likes it not. She doesn't like when she lügen must. When she must do the lügen. And lügen, do I have, well, lügen somehow reminds me of Luke. Luke was a liar. You see Luke. Luke was a liar. Luke from Star Wars. Always lying, lying, lying. So when she must lie. And you see muss is at the end. Yeah, muss relates to sie, and that means wenn is another pusher. Aber Geheimnisse sind nun einmal Teil ihres Jobs. She doesn't like to lie, but things that happen at home, which is a Geheimnis, which is a secret, are nun einmal, I don't even want to bother translating this, are simply kind of part her of job. This job, this S, it's a part of it's a genitive S, but we don't do this. Yeah, so don't worry about it. So Teil ihres jobs, and you see the SS as an indication, ESS indication for genitive. Yeah, so she thinks keeping secrets is part of her job. Die Zeit vergeht sehr langsam und immer noch keine Spur von Stefan. This is a full sentence, but there is no verb, so I would say I just think one, and that is this one, es gibt. So, die Zeit, what does the time do? Time usually passes very slowly. And you see the sam again, which we had with einsam before. Yeah, so somehow it takes a long time for the time to pass, and that means it's very slow. And there is, which we don't need to repeat. Well, immer noch, I have to be careful, because immer on its own means always, somehow related to ever. But if it's coming with noch, it simply means still, and it's emphasizing it. Not a Spur, trace of Stefan. Hope this time didn't pass slowly and that you took something from it. That was chapter 33, and see you in chapter 34.